Hello everyone, how are we all doing today? It's been blisteringly hot on the south coast of England today, and I've been sweating more than a nun at an Ann Summers sex party and sweating faster than Omid Scobie under a sun lamp. Now, before I get into what I want to talk about today, I have just a few bits of housekeeping to take care of. Firstly, hello to all my wonderful subscribers, and a special welcome if you're new to the channel. If you're comfortable with gossip and sometimes sarcastic, slightly inappropriate humour, then you have a home here. However, if you're looking for a more serious channel, please do feel free to leave through the back door, but please do it quietly without disturbing other members. We are a sugar-free and IQ0-free establishment here, but occasionally the odd sugar lump does sneak through and make itself known. If you see any, just remember not to feed the trolls because that's my job. Please also do like and share my content if you enjoy it. And if you're watching this and haven't yet subscribed, please take the time to do so. It really does help this community to be seen by more people. Thank you so very much to the kind lady who popped a few pennies into my tip jar yesterday. She did ask me not to reveal her name, but please just know that I am extremely grateful. Your pennies will be spent wisely. I'll be using them to treat my children to a few ice creams during the long 6-week summer holidays, which start next week. The link to my tip jar, coffee fund, thingamy-bob is on the screen now. I want to make it very clear that nobody is under any obligation whatsoever to donate anything. I know that many people are very wary of donating to coffee funds, and that's perfectly understandable, but the link is there should you ever need to use it. Right, moving on, and without any further ado, let's do a Lady C and plunge right in. So unless you've gone through a complete social media blackout lately, you will have seen or heard that Tom Bower's book, Revenge. I tried to do an H.G. Tudor there, it didn't quite work, did it? Revenge is finally due to be released this coming week. The book has now started to be serialised in various publications online, and quite juicy, tasty little starters have been served up to us on a golden platter, all tantalising us and leading us up to the main course, which will be on the 21st of July. Hang in there, guys, just 5 more days to go. So, spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about one of those starters right now, and in some depth too. So if you would rather wait until the book comes out, please switch this off now. For the rest of you, let's talk Vanity Fair. And if you don't know what that is, Vanity Fair is a glossy monthly magazine published in America, which covers popular culture, celebrities, beauty, fashion, politics and current affairs. And it's right up there on a level with Vogue, I would say. Now, Vanity Fair to me sounds like a convention for all things vain and narcissistic. It's also, according to Google, predominantly aimed at middle-aged white women, so it's no surprise that Meghan Markle wanted to be in it so badly. In 2017, after years of trying to get noticed, she finally got a chance when Vanity Fair's features editor, Jane Sarkin, pitched to the magazine's editor-in-chief that Meghan should not only have an interview with them, but also feature on the front cover. The editor had never heard of Meghan, a small-time starlet on a Canadian cable TV series. However, he was persuaded after being told that she was secretly Prince Harry's latest girlfriend and was destined to change the royal family forever. So even way back then, from the very beginning, she was under the radar, exploiting her association to royalty to social climb and further her career. According to Tom Bower, when the call came confirming that she would be getting an interview and the front cover, the news was said to be electrifying and Meghan was ecstatic. Yeah, I bet she was. This one incident served to prove to her that she wasn't enough to make it on her own, but with Harry by her side, she would have clout, instant global fame, recognition and adulation without necessarily having to do much work. Cha-ching! Shame for her that her knight in shining armour turned out to be nothing more than a dickhead in tinfoil then, isn't it? Despite having absolutely no idea who she was, Sam Kashner, a long-standing and well-respected contributor to Vanity Fair, was assigned to fly to Toronto to interview Meghan. Upon arrival at Meghan's house, he was briefed that she had been ordered by Prince Harry to stay silent with regards to him and their relationship, and she was to stay away from anything to do with race or Donald Trump. This is in direct contrast to Omid Scobie's claim in his charity shop fodder, Funding Freedom, that Meghan did the interview with Harry's blessing and wanted the world to know that she was in love. Tut tut, Scooby, caught out lying again, huh? The chapter in Tom's book goes on to say that when she spoke, Sam Kashner realised that Meghan knew she had the winning ticket, but avoided giving an impression of triumphalism. I absolutely believe this to be true. You can put shiny rhinestones on top of poo and dress it up however you want, but at the end of the day, it's still a turd. She would have done all she could to hide and disguise the fact that she already had at least one of her Alexander McQueen pumps firmly wedged in the British royal family's door, and my God, she was going to milk it and merch it for all it was worth, as if her life depended on it, which, ironically, it did. Without the royal connection, she's just another Californian fame-seeking wannabe. But she couldn't let anyone know that that was her agenda, or else it would have come to a sudden, crashing halt. Prick Harry didn't see it, but obviously Sam Kashner was older, wiser, and wasn't thinking with his penis. He saw straight through Meghan Markle. During the interview, Sam Kashner noticed that in her tiny kitchen there were lots of pictures, but only featuring herself, obviously. Meghan spoke about her speech to the United Nations and her success, in air quotes, against Procter & Gamble. As an 11-year-old, Meghan had written to both the chairman of P&G and then First Lady Hillary Clinton to complain about a slogan promoting washing up liquid that said, "Women all over America are fighting greasy pots and pans." Meghan argued that it should be changed to people all over America and not women. Now, I'm literally only about 4 months older than Meghan Markle, and believe me, I'm all for a bit of equality and diversity, but I'm pretty sure I remember my days as an 11-year-old spent ripping out Take That posters from Smash Hits magazine and blue tacking them to my bedroom walls, and dreaming what it would be like if my classmate Andrew Cox actually fancied me back. I certainly wasn't writing to big corporations urging them to change their slogans. However, Procter & Gamble did indeed bow to the thousands of protests and changed their advertising slogan. It wasn't simply down to Meghan herself, although being the narcissist she is, she would not agree with that. Sam Kashner felt, whilst interviewing Meghan Markle, that she was just an actress playing a game of cat and mouse. There seemed nothing genuine about her, and she was clearly trying to tailor every response to her advantage. Eventually, Sam felt that he had gained enough of her trust, so decided to ask about Harry, knowing full well he wouldn't get an answer. To his utter amazement, surprise, and absolute delight, she did reply, saying, "We're a couple and we're in love." Boom! What an absolute coup! First-hand confirmation that Meghan and Harry were not only dating, but they were serious and in it for the long haul. She declined to expand on that answer or anything further that Kashner asked, except to say, and thus playing to his cat and mouse theory, "I'm sure there will be a time when we will have to come forward and present ourselves and have stories to tell. But I hope what people will understand is that this is our time. This is for us. It's part of what makes it so special, that it's just ours. But we're happy. I love a great love story." Well, yeah, that's very cute and all, but you have to ask yourself this. And bear with me here, as I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent now. Hopefully you can all keep up. If Meghan had been under strict, explicit orders by the palace and also her boyfriend, who just happened to be a prince of the United Kingdom and Commonwealth, by the way, not some deadbeat you'd find on the Jerry Springer show. If she'd been ordered not to say anything about them or their relationship, why did she? Some might say that it was an accident and she simply forgot herself. But if she was so calculating with her responses and playing them to her advantage, which we all know she's very capable of doing, just look at her performance during the Oprah interview, then you have to assume that distinctly defying orders and going on record to talk about it was another one of her little games. So why do it? Was she tired of being in the shadows? Was the relationship not progressing fast enough for her? Did she think out that by speaking out and saying that they were in love, it would force Harry to hurry up and put a ring on it? I mean, it would have put Harry in a very awkward position. It would have been awkward and very damaging for him if his girlfriend came out and stated on public record that they were in love, and then he just comes out and goes, "Nah, love, you're just the latest bus. There'll be another one along in a minute." To be honest, I don't think that their relationship was all that solid and hunky-dory at that point anyway. A few months prior to the Vanity Fair interview, in March 2017, it was widely rumoured that Harry had got tired of Meghan and gave her the boot. But she had unexpectedly turned up at Tom Inskip's wedding in Montego Bay as Harry's +1, and spent most of her time drinking and begging him to reconsider and to get back together with her. A big argument was had by all accounts. You can see from the infamous photos from that day that something clearly had kicked off between the pair. Trouble in paradise, literally. At that point, Hazza was still trying to shake off his unsavoury, but well-deserved reputation, I might add, as a racist playboy prince, a drunken lout with a penchant for fighting with photographers and stripping down to his crown jewels in Vegas. So maybe he saw in her the ideal chance to hopefully put an end to all his bad press by settling down. In love is a very big thing, isn't it? It's on a whole different level to just fancying the pants off someone and having fun with them, keeping it a bit casual-like. To me, being in love, it's like the point of no return for a relationship, isn't it? Once you've dropped the L-bomb, there's no turning back. And really the only way forward from that is marriage or splitting up. Fish or cut bait is a common phrase used in America for this, I believe. Or at least it was in the film Three Men and a Little Lady. Watch it. I promise you it's in there. It's difficult if one person says they're in love for then the partner to then come out and deny it or play it down. Even if that's how they truly feel, it would seriously hurt the person in love. I mean, some people would come out and say that if they're an arsehole. But the prince can't be seen to be an arsehole now, can he? Or at least not more of one. So on that basis alone, I reckon Meghan Markle knew exactly what she was doing by saying what she said, when she said it, and how she said it. It pushed Harry into making a commitment he didn't necessarily want to make. Perhaps that's why he looked so damn miserable on their wedding day and she looked so smug. And we're back in the room. Hopefully you all understood the point I was trying to make there. So back to the Vanity Fair extract, and after that bombshell revelation had been dropped, Meghan added that she has never defined herself by her relationships. She was an independent woman who would not be defined by her relationship with Harry. Independent woman? Okay, Miss Destiny's Child. Let's just go with that and pull apart this golden nugget. So if Meghan has never defined herself by her relationships, then why did she suddenly and only really become a foodie when she started dating the Canadian chef, who she later cheated on with Prince Harry? Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. And if she's not defined by her current relationship, why does she refer to herself as Meghan Mountbatten Windsor? Or Rachel Mountbatten Windsor, if we're going to get technical here? Just like he wants to be just Harry. If she's not defined, then why is everything she does, or every statement she makes, under the moniker of Duchess of Sussex? If it was a title she had earned, then fair enough. But that title was bestowed upon her. It was actually a wedding gift from Her Majesty the Queen. If she's not defined, then she should say, "Thanks, Queenie, but, I think I'll lock that title away in a drawer and I'll just stick to plain old Meghan Markle if that's all right with you." But we all know she'll never do that, don't we? Just saying. After the Vanity Fair interview, Sam Kashner spent several days calling through a list of Meghan's friends. That list provided by Meghan, obviously. And we are only just learning now that the tennis player Serena Williams, who we all thought was best buds with Meghan, put Kashner straight and said that she wasn't a friend, merely an acquaintance. Ouch. Now, I'm not saying that their friendship hasn't grown since, but that's definitely different to what we had been led to believe. So did Serena really organise Meghan's baby shower in New York? And is that why Meghan got the cold shoulder from Serena's mum at the US Open in 2019? Because they were basically strangers. Or was it more something to do with Meghan trying to pull off a basic instinct and show Serena's husband her Muller fruit corner? Either way, although Serena Williams did not confirm the friendship, she did provide an ominous quote. "You've got to be who you are, Meghan. You can't hide." Interesting. For being a mere acquaintance, she sure had Meg pegged. Tom Bower goes on to say that Sunshiny Ballsacks demanded the Vanity Fair interview focus heavily on Meghan's work as a philanthropist and activist. Only when it came to fact-checking, there was absolutely no record or evidence of any of her global philanthropy and activism. Now that's funny, because in 2016, not long before Harry met Meghan, she spent some time in Rwanda for the Clear Water campaign, laughing and hugging orphans. Yet we since found out that she took her own photographer and stylist along with her to get some decent shots. It's all about her, isn't it? Curiously enough, her Wikipedia page was changed around the same time. Certain information was mysteriously deleted and swiftly replaced with all her many philanthropic endeavours. Unsurprisingly, given the huge unexpected coup of Meghan and Harry being in love and all the guaranteed front-page headlines and global interest it would bring, the rest of the Vanity Fair's interview pretty much paled into comparison. As soon as the magazine went to print, Meghan was celebrating her 36th birthday with Harry in Botswana. Meghan had brought with her a copy of Pride, a small circulation magazine aimed at mixed race and Black Britons. The magazine featured an interview with her where she described her fight against racial prejudice and the importance of female empowerment. As a woman of colour, she felt obligated to speak about being half black. Yeah, when it suits her. She assumed the philanthropic angle would be the one used, but she was in no way prepared for the almighty shitstorm that was about to happen. Pre-publication copies were released to both Sunshine Sachs and Buckingham Palace in early September of 2017. The front cover photograph of Meghan was accompanied by the headline, "She's just wild about Harry," which, in actual fact, was an almost direct rip-off of the front cover of The Sun in 1984 when Princess Diana gave birth to Harry. Wonder if Meghan had any hand in choosing the title, by the way. There's a fantastic photo I saw according to Taz post earlier, which I'll pop on the screen now, and it further enhances the theory that Meghan sees herself as the second coming of Diana, doesn't she? The interview triggered both sensational and furious reactions from both the media and all in Buckingham Palace. It was felt that Meghan had used her relationship to promote herself. Start as you mean to go on, love? Within hours, Meghan called Sunshiny Ballsacks and was said to be hysterical as she described the palace's fury at her interview. She berated the PR firm and demanded to know why her comments about Harry hadn't been removed. Silly girl. Don't want them published? Don't say them then. Maybe she was hysterical because her game plan had been exposed too soon and everyone was now on to her. Ken Sunshine was confused as to why the palace was furious and panicked that Meghan would fire his PR agency. So he called Vanity Fair's editor to deliver what he perceived to be the ultimate threat. "You're going to have to deal with the Queen." Ooh. He actually thought the Queen would phone Vanity Fair and give the editor a right royal telling off. But he was told in no uncertain terms that Meghan wasn't given the cover on her own back, but because of who she was likely to marry. Boom, truth bomb dropped right there. Mic drop. Meghan then called Sam Kashner and said, and I quote, "I thought this could have been an actual friendship. I don't now think that can happen." Gaslighting much? Babes, he was there to record you droning on about your fake activism, not to be your lifelong buddy. Face it, Angel, you got played at your own game. She was equally furious that her 1992 battle with Procter & Gamble was omitted from the interview, but after consulting P&G and advertising historians, Vanity Fair concluded that they could not prove the whole story, as there was no evidence. There was no evidence, as Meghan claimed, that she'd ever received a reply from Hillary Clinton. And it's now come to light that Thomas Markle knew Hillary Clinton, and Procter & Gamble had in fact not replied to Meghan. The success of her campaign was entirely fictitious, invented by Thomas Markle. So in other words, he made the whole thing up to spare his darling daughter's blushes. My. Made a serious rod for your back there, old Thomas, my friend. Meghan complained because she wasn't presented in the way she wanted, Kashner claimed. She demanded that the media do what she expects, and I felt manipulated. Well, doesn't that just sum her up? At the time of this interview, Meghan was appearing in Suits, and the producers were in awe that one of their actresses managed to appear on the cover of Vanity Fair. However, they were hoping it would boost ratings for their show and were disappointed to find that that simply didn't happen. Reversing the narrative on this was impossible. That's like closing the gate way after the horse has bolted, jumped a few fences, won the Grand National, and crossed the border into the next country. In the midst of the anger, Harry remained loyal to his girlfriend, choosing to blindly ignore this huge red flag and ignored all of the warnings that she was trouble and only spelled disaster for the British royal family. Oh, if he'd only paid attention and listened. Right, I'm going to leave it there. If you've enjoyed this, I've been the Duchess of Monty Shit Show, and if you haven't, I've been one of the other YouTubers out there that are talking about this currently. Take care for now, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!